What happens when a decorated black detective becomes the target of his own department's bias? A tense standoff. A crowd with cameras. And a truth so raw, it shakes the system. This isn't just a story, it's real. And it unfolded in real time. The night was cold, just cold enough to sting. Detective Jordan Hayes stepped out of his car, the weight of a 12-hour shift dragging through his bones. His red hoodie was pulled over his head, not to hide, just to stay warm. He rubbed his hands together and headed toward the corner store, unaware that the next few minutes would change everything. Across the street, Officer Kyle Brennan sat in his cruiser, chewing on a toothpick, eyes scanning the block. His radio crackled, a robbery suspect, black male, dark clothes. Vague. Too vague. But then Brennan saw Jordan, and in an instant, his assumptions took over. A hoodie. A mask. Black. To Brennan, that's all it took. Jordan stepped inside the store, bought a water and some gum, nodded at the cashier. Just another tired man on his way home. But as he stepped back out into the cold, something felt off. A car creeping behind him. Red and blue lights flashing. Stop right there. Hands where I can see them. The voice sliced through the night like a blade. Jordan froze. Heart pounding. And just like that, the street turned into a stage. Officer Brennan had his hand on his weapon. The crowd started to gather. Phones went up. And Jordan didn't move. Because he knew what this looked like. But he also knew who he was. Slowly, he raised his hands and spoke. I'm Detective Jordan Hayes. I'm off duty. Brennan didn't flinch. You don't look like a cop. That line. Jordan had heard it before, in different words, in different cities, behind different eyes. He held up his badge. I just finished a 12-hour shift. I'm not your suspect. But Brennan wasn't listening. Because this wasn't about logic. It was about control. And the crowd could feel it. He didn't do anything, a woman shouted. What's wrong with you? Another man yelled. The phones didn't blink. They captured everything. Get on the ground. Brennan barked, gun now fully raised. Jordan didn't budge. I'm not armed. I'm not resisting. And you're making a mistake. His voice was calm. Measured. But inside? A storm. And that storm was growing louder. Sirens approached. Backup was coming. Within moments, squad cars lined the block. 3 more officers stepped out, eyes flicking between Jordan, the crowd, and Brennan. What's going on here? One asked. Brennan snapped, he matches the suspect. He's not complying. Jordan cut in, louder now, his badge still visible. I've identified myself multiple times. I'm a detective. This is a misunderstanding, and it's escalating fast. A sergeant arrived, sharp, composed, experienced. She took one look at the scene and didn't hesitate. Brennan, lower your weapon. He could be lying, Brennan muttered. And if he's not, she shot back. Jordan handed over his ID. The sergeant examined it, then turned to Brennan. This man is who he says he is. Stand down. The crowd erupted, cheers, shouts, demands for answers. But Brennan just stood there, weapon still trembling in his hand, his face pale with embarrassment. Slowly, reluctantly, he lowered it. Jordan exhaled. But the pressure in his chest didn't ease. Sergeant, he said, I want this documented. Every second of it. There are cameras. Witnesses. This cannot be swept under the rug. She nodded. It won't be. Then she turned to Brennan. You've got some serious explaining to do. But the damage? That was already done. By morning, the videos were everywhere. Plainclothes black detective held at gunpoint by fellow officer. Headlines screamed. Social media exploded. Some praised Jordan. Others questioned him. His phone buzzed non-stop, support, outrage, disbelief. And somewhere in the noise, silence. The kind of silence that comes after a storm, but before the rebuild. The department placed Brennan on administrative leave. Protests erupted outside the precinct. Leaders demanded accountability. Change. Jordan gave a single interview. "What did this teach you?" the reporter asked. He paused, then answered, quietly but firmly. "That the badge doesn't shield you from bias. That even when you serve the system can still fail you." And when she asked what he hoped would come of it, he said, "Accountability. For every officer who lets prejudice cloud their judgment. We can't build trust while we keep tearing it down." Days passed. But the fire didn't die. At a local community center, a young boy approached him. "Are you the guy from the video?" he asked. Jordan knelt to meet his eyes. "Yeah, that's me. Why didn't you get mad?" Jordan smiled, tired, but warm. "Because sometimes, staying calm is the strongest thing you can do." Later that week, Jordan sat on a park bench, city buzzing in the distance. The sun was setting. His mind was still racing. He pulled out his phone and typed. "This isn't just about one mistake. It's about the choices we make, every day. Whether to act on fear, or pause and see the human being in front of us. Thank you to everyone who stood up, recorded, and demanded the truth. Change starts with us. Let's keep pushing." He hit send. The road ahead was long. But he wasn't walking it alone. The moral of this story? Accountability matters. And real change begins when we dare to confront uncomfortable truths. Not with anger, but with courage. So ask yourself, what assumptions do you carry? And how can you be part of the change that builds a more just, more compassionate world? Backhand index pointing right if you believe in truth, justice, and real accountability. Like, share, and subscribe. We've got more stories to tell.